Namaste to you all, my love and blessings. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avataravarishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। In the last class, we had the story of Madalasa. And it was rather had to run through a little faster because it was like something like Valmiki Ramayana, Katha Pradhana. It was more of a story than the ideals I could not properly present because story was quite long. And it's a little complicated story, but it is nice to know because you will not get usually in the internet the many of the details that we find in the actual this one. So our Tulsidas Ramayana is Jnana Bhakti Pradhana. Valmiki's is only Katha Pradhana. Like that, last class we had to hurry up with the story. Now I will tell you a few things. This class we can dedicate totally for the understanding the principles, how they present the in Upanishads and all, how they nicely present the things with actual realities. For many of us, we are trained in the modern education and we find it very difficult to accept many things which are told in the, but times will come back. We will be able to expand our consciousness slowly to, we are extremely limited consciousness we have got now. I, mine and a little of the science. In science also we don't have anything extra. Electricity, magnetism, nuclear. That's all. Whole thing. Beyond that we don't know. And what we see through the senses alone is accepted as true because we are trained in the modern scientific way. But when we come to the Puranas and all, it works at the cosmic level. We have to expand our consciousness to very expansive level of understanding. It must have broad spectrum vision. So that we will have as we progress in our spiritual life. That is expansion of consciousness and expansion of heart. Then the actual ideals can be properly implanted in the hearts of the people. So we will just go towards that. Now Madalasa's character, if you see, what a beautiful personality. It is there in every woman. Any woman can pick up all these qualities unless we have a will to expand. Goodness, sweet words, kind speaking, wisdom. You see the wisdom with which she moves every move. And whatever she puts hand upon, total dedication and acceptance with which she does. That kind of total dedication and treasure of knowledge. As we go into her instructions to the three who renounce and go away, taking the Nivritti Patha, and she gives just very little knowledge for them of the Atman, because nothing more to be given. Again and again, shift the paradigm, shift them to the new paradigm. But in case of Alarka, when you come to last son, father requests her to give a son to climb the throne. So she brings completely, entirely new paradigm. We see the shifting from one end to the other end, from the transcendental to the relative existence. And there you will know what a vast understanding. To be a householder, to enter the field of this one, she goes on giving the instruction which runs to the through pages. See, just as a king, his duty, in various other aspects, as a human being, as a social being, as a cosmic being, as of the nature, a part of the nature, as a householder, as a family member, as a citizen of the country, nation, as a successor of a clan, Kula Deepa he has to become, as an individual, and as a life in the nature. All these aspects she covers. Being a person, what you have to do? You are a life in the universe. What are your duties? How to evolve? From each standpoint, in each state of his existence, in his each aspect, she wants him to attain the absolute perfection. As a human being, you must be perfect, absolute perfect. As a king, all these instructions, when you see, what is this Hinduism? We wonder, we must be blessed. Any person must be highly blessed to be born as a Hindu. Otherwise we cannot. I would have totally missed all this if I was not born as a Hindu. And if my parents were not like Madalasa. From childhood it has to be infused into awarenesses. How to create the awareness. All these aspects you see in her. Love, compassion for all beings, sacrifice. What a sacrifice, our life. Calm and peaceful mind under all conditions. She is not under the situation. Situation is under her control. Absolute purity, unfaltering virtues. All this we have to cultivate. It is within us. The inner stability. Not to be shaken by somebody told something, we started weeping. No stability at all. So this inner stability and royal way of behaving. To add to all that, she has been endowed with heavenly beauty. You see, external skin beauty is only skin deep. If you remove the skin, a beautiful woman would look, you cannot go even near her. Beauty is always skin deep. But there is a beauty, this beauty is seen by a few humans that move about around us. But inner beauty is seen by God. Socrates was most ugly to look at. He just says in one of the, "Oh Lord, make me beautiful from within." Because this inner beauty is seen by God. External beauty is seen in the world. What I have to project is my inner. God must be pleased with my life. God must be pleased with all things. And this to cultivate, there is basic nature of woman, born as a woman. In Mahabharata, Vidura says about this. three important aspects of women, which is natural in every woman, and from that any amount of goodness and varieties of virtues can be brought out. One, he says, is Chetana. She's awake. Most of we are asleep. Woman is always awake. From her childhood, you will see that awakening in her. What is happening where? Like Rajamata. What king doesn't know, as a king with all spice, Rajamata will be knowing there. So this Chetana, to be as an householder, she must know everything what is happening inside the house, outside the house, what is the behavior, who is going, who is coming, every aspect she will be knowing. She has to know. And that capacity is there. Unless we block that by modern education, modern competitive society, and all this rush into the world for enjoyment and position, unless it is not there, all will be naturally brought out. Then prerana, what to do when? What to do when? Men have to think, plan, but it spontaneously comes out in women. Any situation, what is to be done? You see, she is going away for the Vanaprastha. She is giving a ring to the Alarka. He is an excellent king as it is. Looking after every citizen, every subject as his own child, with personal care. And everyone is appreciating him. So, such a king, she knows one day problem will come. She says, while going, my child, I have given you all instructions, all things that you must know being a householder. Yet, you have accepted this life of, this order of Grahastha and invariably you will be landing in the problems. Because the evolution has to be there. Goal is not this. Goal is beyond. So you will be brought to, you will. It is inevitable that in householder's life, last there will be a tragic situation will come when he has to surrender totally to the divine. So she gives a ring, telling him, see the vision everywhere. So when she gets the news, husband is dead, she calmly goes and sits in a corner, confirms that he is dead and leaves the body at once. Means, I have no more purpose. The whole plan, if you see, her, Ritadhvaja meeting her, going to Galava for protecting him. He is a rishi, sage, engaged in sadhana. He goes to serve him. And he chases one demon and goes there. She finds the Madalasa there. Madalasa is such a character, a realized soul, who can give birth to those who are on the verge of realization, or avatars, like Rama taking birth, Krishna taking birth, or those who are on the verge of realization. In her womb they will be born. In the womb itself, they will be initiated with the mantra. When the child is in the womb, she gives the Aham Brahmasmi, what is given to the sannyasin, Soham, all the 4 mantras given to a sannyasi, she gives when the child is in the womb. Because he has come to realize only. Means a husband suitable for her has to be brought by the divine. Because the four Vikranta, Subhahu, Shatrumardana and Alarka are waiting there. All are going to realize God in that very life. and mother has to give birth to them. And that mother has to have a equally competent, a absolutely unselfish, a sannyasi, total sannyasi in his this one. After Madalasa's going, how he lives, you see. What a beautiful life. With the same age, prince, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and all are coming to him. And they are spending their days in joy and peace. Well utilizing. He is trying to give divine to them. Live divine. Seek divine. He is teaching them. Means you imagine sitting and talking to, I can waste my time after my wife dies. I can spend my life in any way. I can weep and spend. I can do anything, anyway. Enjoy and spend in some other way. But in spiritual discussions, in literature, in art, in music, various things, how he spends the life. So she must be there. He must go there. And it must be a service unto the humanity, you see. And that Rishi, he is going to serve a Rishi. He is getting that fruit also of getting that Madalasa. And if you see his life, excellent character. You see education, character, wealth, power, and all to coexist is very rare things. If one is there, other will be missing. So in him you see character, prowess, virata, heroic. None can defeat him in the war field also. All capabilities, vast learning, totally engaged in spiritual discussions at all times with everybody. To make them divine, to make them live divine, to seek divine. How he is inducing people, you see. He is young, 25 to 30 years age. Within that, he has acquired all this. Means look at his parents. How they would have been living an exemplary life. So this you see. And games with all. See, pleasureful games. Swimming, this, that, skating. All this just to bring together intimacy and bond of love. Music, art and all, literature, everything is there. Scriptures. This is how he lived. And the two boys who come from the Nagaloka, when the father questions them, where you are going, my children, every day? I am missing you. Only nights I am seeing you. Then how beautifully they describe his nature and character. Why they are carried away by them, the two boys. They are also princes, equally competent, equally accomplished. They fall just because of the love and concern that he gives. They say his simplicity, with all that knowledge and capacity, the simplicity, what we have to acquire in our life, you see. The simplicity, humility, a concern for all beings, modesty, sweet speaking, uncalled for, he will not talk at all. Unwanted things, he will not talk at all. Even if some instigation is there to enter into it, he has so much control and knows the wasting of time. Oh, this is not worth. People may think, oh, he's not replying to me, he's not listening to me. But he is interested in your welfare. Don't sit with this, time is passing. So all these characteristics you will see in his. Now they are to be brought together. And the more you are evolved, more you undergo the tests. More will be your responsibility. Because that has to be present as an ideal. We think under all conditions are nice and safe, we will be working nicely. But when the circumstances are adverse, we will lose our path, we will lose our balance. They are not like that. Whatever they take up, whatever they are, the circumstances and situations means absolutely opposite way of whatever should not happen will happen. In that you will see them standing with all that. Then it becomes an ideal. So we will see this, the concern for all, absolute intent, matchless love. These three are the characters with which he binds everyone, welcomes. They are attached to him. That is, they are not able to eat without him. Means how it could be. And Ashvatara, the father of those two, will how they thought God puts in his mind, you see. You are getting so much benefited. You are getting established in the divine by his company. Have you thought of anything he wants? Will you simply take, receive, swallow and go away? Or you have something to give to him in return for the vast things. You cannot imagine what he is giving and there is no return. You cannot repay the debt, spiritual debt it is given. All other debts can be repaid. The mother giving birth, you cannot repay. Guru giving knowledge, you cannot repay. Jnana. So these are the things. But anything he wants, he has gone to the extent, whatever I have as king, you can give it to him. Means, what is his character? What is his? He is equal to God and she is equal to a goddess. Otherwise, will the children who are born, are they going to realize God? Those who are on the verge of realizing God, they are waiting for a birth. I want a good parent. The more we qualify ourselves, more we evolve, more spiritual we become, God will have some utility of you. God can use you somewhere for some purpose. Similarly, nature can use you. The more qualified you become, more you become this one, God will use you. So now, for the sake of those 4 people who are going to realize God, they have to. Now, the thought comes in, he has lost his wife. She is dead. His body also is cremated. But the faith in God, he says, nothing is impossible. What a word he says, with absolute sense control and mind control. If you can contact divine, after all, body is a matter, few atoms coming together. Will not be God who has created the universe, can he not create a body back and give you? What an understanding, you see. This is what we need. The faith means unflinching faith in God, in the divine, that anything can be done. A fool like me can realize God. It's ordinary things. Anybody, anything God can. As Naren Vivekananda, father says, don't be surprised at anything happening in this world. Anything is possible in this world. So that we never, scientifically or otherwise, we can never imagine a day will come in the world when all doors will be closed. We cannot imagine. But it happened, you see. Corona. There is a song in Bengali, Corona Pathar, on Divine Mother. Corona. In Bengali, Na is not pronounced, Na is pronounced. Corona. So, this nothing, it can happen. Such a vast universe, such a vast world, globe, every door is closed means it is something unimaginable. It cannot happen, but it happens. Like that, he has got that faith in God, and he says, by sense control, control of mind, you can achieve anything. Through tapas, tapas, tapas. When the creation, Brahma comes into existence at the time of creation, he sees the waves of fluid, something like waters of creation, we say. In that, Brahma alone is there on a lotus. Then he doesn't know where he is, what is his duty, what has to do, nothing is known. He just sitting on the lotus, he is looking around. Where am I also, he doesn't know. He puts the hand on the lotus stalk and takes the hand below and above and sees, and he cannot reach anywhere. Then a sound comes, tapa, tapa, tapa. Do tapas, do tapas. Immediately he closes his eyes, and then the whole knowledge of the previous cycle, the Saraswati, the Sharada is unfolding in him. See that tapas, through that you can achieve anything, that faith. And the whole history of Indian Hindu way of life, whoever has achieved anything in his life is through tapas, great tapas, bringing the senses and mind under control, becoming calm and collected, and dedicating my heart to the totally to the achievement. No diversions, no attractions. That he gives that ideal presence. Each one is participating beautifully in this thing, you see. He says nothing is impossible, because the faith in divine must be there, commitment must be there, resolution must be there. I will do it and sacrifice for that. So this is how we see, and each one he has put out his maximum things. The song which she used to sing for the realized souls, the first three sons, you are the pure, divine, Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi, all those things. I will send that. Similarly, just go on, she is shifting his identity from bodily existence to the each stanza has deep significance, shifting from one to the other. And each time the nature of man is to identify with the body, and she withdraws, holds him back. No, my child, you are not this body. Why are you weeping? Name is just a superimposition on you. Just now they coined. You have no name, because a name can be given to a thing which can be perceived through senses, which can be conceived through mind. But this, you are the reality which cannot be conceived by mind, which cannot be perceived by senses. How can name be there? But for your bodily existence, that name is, don't identify with that name also. Not with the senses. Each one, how she clearly segregates, shows him in this is your mind, look at the mind, this is what, you are the self. He, she, whatever with which we have identified ourselves from the day one we came into this world, totally is identification with the body. Nobody told us from childhood, you are Atman, my child. But she did. That one by one, totally, by the time they come to the youth, they know both sides. They weigh. I want to renounce and go. three children, one behind the other when they go. Father is, means why father wants, he knows everything is impermanent. His kingdom is nothing to him. For children who have got realized souls, his father, how it could be holding on to something. But his love and compassion for his subjects, all the prajas, that he's like his own children. Who will rule them? I ruled, taking them all as my own children. Everybody's sukha dukha I was participating. Next to me, who is there? Not because my son should get the kingdom, others should not get. No. The praja must get a right. Till today, from my ancestors, we have maintained the tradition. Now, how can we leave this tradition, make them orphans in the world, and go away? He is asking one child to be given back. And that lady, how she explains what was given as Atma Jnana to the children who is very little, because they are born with that capability, capacity, that purpose. He is also born with equal purpose. But she has to drag him from that path and keep him here. Like Ramakrishna keeps Vivekananda after Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now your key is with me. You have seen every aspect of God, of reality, or you know everything about this universe and beyond. Now this key to Nirvikalpa Samadhi will be with me. After you finish the duties of Divine Mother, work of Divine Mother, I will give you back this key. So, to bind him back to the world is very difficult. He is growing. Now, father participates. On one side, the mother has already put the foundation. By the time 4-5 years, 3-4 years, there will be storytellers for king's children. The storytelling will be so impressive, the children will start boiling within themselves. They will be full of energy, hearing. Sometimes they go and beat the storyteller itself as if he is the enemy. So much of strength. It means to pictorially present it to the children. Like that, the foundation is put, the king takes the charge of that boy to bring him. He had done to all the children, but weightage of the spiritual understanding was greater, and they are equally competent kings. But they prefer to go that side. Now, the same training which father gave to them, father is giving. Father is for others, all children, mother put the foundation. Father built the superstructure. She had built the infrastructure. And then she had, for all, the realization was open. For him, the realization is hidden because he has to work as a king, serve the people. But she has already, when he is building up the superstructure, she is building up a tunnel inside. Tunnel that opens up in some place like Kailas or heaven. See the beauty of a realized soul, how they bring up their children. He has to enter the world, but let them not get lost there. A day will come that the purpose of human life is served. That much of understanding, capability, everything is infused in him. In and through the duties and responsibility. I did not bring that this one by mistake. In that first stanza, what same how she was singing for the other three children, she sings for this also. In that, the last stanza comes, my child, through dharma, you are going to realize God. First stanza itself. I will send you that whole thing. Through dharma. For them, through renunciation is the path to realization. Here she says, doesn't say that. She is giving him the path of action. There it's a path of renunciation. How to karma yoga. How to convert your life into. And beautifully he comes up. As expected. While going also, he is all capable, all loving and perfect. Only thing, as his wealth, as his virtues are also increasing, dharma, artha, kama, he is filled with moksha concept is not there. Of the four purusharthas, each human has to attain dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, he is purna, paripurna. But his desire for enjoyments and possession doesn't abate. With aging it must abate. It must go on decreasing. It doesn't. It will remain as it is. Then the brothers interfere and then say, oh, my brother, we are born to the same mother for the one purpose to realize God in this life. We came away this path. He went to that path. He did not, it is not, Pathaprashta is not Pathaprashta. He is in the path and got stuck somewhere. Why should he get stuck there? He is walking on that path. Grahastha Patha, it's a path to divine. It is path to God. Just like Sannyasa Patha, Grahastha, it's a path. And why should he get stuck up? Because same mother instructed us, same mother gave us birth, same mother fed us with her breast milk. And he alone will be deprived. And who is walking in the same path told by mother with absolute perfection. But one thing he is not able to. The only thing that can bring man back to senses is calamities. When calamities come, they come, wake up. Otherwise, any amount of telling will not work. A blow must be given. His whole personality must be shaken up from the bottom. For that, he will bring the king of Kashi. Request him. You are all capable. So why don't you do me a favor? Get that kingdom to me. You win over and get the kingdom to me. He doesn't want kingdom. He wants his brother should realize God. Having lived almost wholly, he is in the almost retiring period. Yet, why should he be deprived of it? So this we will see a continuous process. This is the actual Indian way of life. And then, once we have seen this in the story, we have already discussed, the king seizes the whole, puts a seize over the kingdom. Finally, he comes to the court. The court, fort in which he is captured, he escapes from there. The last, when he is terribly frightened, what is going to happen? Because all his wealth is taken away. All his kingdom is taken away. All his property and everything what he had till today is going to go away. And he will be either killed or imprisoned. What to do? He did not know. Then the mother's ring comes. When the mother's ring comes into his hand, memory, see how the divine arrangement you see. Most of the people I have come across, especially as a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, I see this quality in every householder, that they are capable of realizing God being an householder. Two frameworks Sri Ramakrishna creates. The fold of householders, he wanted them to be like rishis, sages, rishis. Rishi life Sri Ramakrishna wanted to bring back into the society for realizing God and living in the world. And other was all renouncing sannyasis who preserve the lamp of realization, spread it among others. He used to call them inner circle and outer circle. There's circle of Sri Ramakrishna. Their inner circle is sannyasis, outer circle is the grahasthas who protect them. They protect the dharma. The inner circle protect the dharma because they are free from the duties and responsibilities of a family. See, you see anybody having mobile. In their mobile, you see what photos they have got. The screen. All sannyasis will have Thakur, Mother or Swamiji or any god, any renunciate, any sannyasi will have. But all householders will have their family photo. This is going to be in their prajna. When they die, that comes because the shrine which we are kept in the room is in the darkness. It is not giving light. When he sees in mobile, the picture is lighted. It is lighted. So lighted enters into consciousness. When we meditate also, we are told to meditate in such a way that luminous form of your Ishta Devata, luminous form of Ishta Devata. Because luminosity has to enter into the prajna. It has to enter into consciousness. Whatever illumines, it enters into. I may have a photo on my table, but in mobile, each time I open, I see my wife or husband or children or grandchildren or something. That enters the prajna. That will not enter. That will remain in the mind. It goes to the deeper. You can see that the moment a sannyasi, any brahmachari or anybody, any sannyasi, if you see a mobile, Mother's or Thakur's picture will be there. God's picture will be there. Not family members. In any house you go, you will find only enshrine the God's pictures. All round you will see there one whole family picture from their grandmother to this one in one photo. What will be the consciousness? With what consciousness they are going to die? With all sadhanas. This we have to, these are very deep concepts. How this is Indian psychology, building up the psychology. So we find this in him, that prajna is already filled with. When the mother, just to ignite that, it has to be ignited. It is therein. She has already placed it. The ignition is given now through that ring. So that he will not miss anywhere, anytime, because emergency time, if it is kept in the locker in the bank, when he is in most needed, the key is with the position of the one who has attacked him. Mother's word won't be there. Mother knows. Wherever a person goes, he will not leave. Chain he may remove and keep, But an occasion to remove the ring and will not. She did not put the locket around the head, neck also. Or somebody in the train may snatch away gold. So she gave, he cannot be snatched, he had to cut the finger and take. That much courage nobody has got of a king. So she gives a ring and he opens the ring at that moment and sees the inscription on that paper. Beautiful. 2 instructions she writes on that. Sangha sarvatmana tyajyaha. The attachment to be given up, totally given up, attachment. Na chet tyaktum na shakyate. Na tyaktum sa, that one, that particular thing, if it cannot be renounced, sa chet tyaktum na shakyate, saha, that particular thing, attachment. Sadbihi saha kartavyaha. It has to be with the saintly people. Satam sangaha, the company of holy men, holy people. Renounce all attachments. If you cannot renounce all attachments, you cannot at all renounce the attachments, then be attached to the saintly people. What a beautiful this one you see. Many people ask about these things. I am not able to give up. Thakur says, turn the direction, that's all. Mode phirano. Thakur gives the mode phirano. Then the second instruction, kamaha sarvatmana tyajyaha. Kamaha, the desires are to be totally abolished. That is given up. Shun the desires from your being. If at all you cannot, hatum chet shakyate nasaha. If it is not able to, it is not possible to give up all the desires. I am not able to give up the desires. Mumuksham prati, regarding the liberation, desire for liberation. Yeah, I cannot give up all the desires. Then desire for liberation. Many people ask me, is not seeking God also a desire? Yes, because you cannot give up all desires. If you can give up that desire also, it is you are a realized soul. You will immediately realize. But you cannot give up the desires. So desire for the thing which is leads you to liberation. So moksham prati tat karyaha. Sa eva, that alone is tasyapi bheshajam. First one also. Satam sangye bheshajam. Satams, the holy men, holy company is the panacea. Panacea means the positive medicine which can cure. The sangha, the attachment, if you cannot give up, be attached to the satsanga, because that is going to be cure all your diseases. That is a medicine for attachment. Satsanga is the medicine for attachment. Similarly, for desires, desiring liberation is the panacea, is the medicine for it will be written. He ceremoniously reads that actually. Calls the Brahmins, he will have a bath and sits on the king's throne. Calls the Brahmins, they will do the benediction. After that he opens his and starts reading it. Loudly he reads many times. And then you become silent. Oh, only thing I have to seek is liberation. Liberation alone can give me the ultimate peace, and that is the only security. All other securities are no securities. So I have to then how to get liberation? Satsanga. He decides in his mind. Then just contemplates, where shall I get the satsanga? In his heart, the Dattatreya's picture comes into his mind. In his heart, that love, immediately he becomes fearless. And he simply runs from the palace to Dattatreya's feet. And surrenders there. Dattatreya gives him, it is a long, few conversations, but the explanation of he is giving knowledge. First he asks, what is troubling you? What suffering are you undergoing? I cannot come out of my suffering, he says. What suffering you are having? Then he spontaneously is telling the answer itself, what he is expecting. In the presence of the divine awakens and comes out. Then he goes on asking for few questions, and detailed version of things is there. If I get some time, how a householder should live, and what is the last path of realization for them. The Datta's words are there. Many things may not be applicable to the present society, but if you take its essence, you can apply in different places. But most of the things are common. Same man, same nature, same prakriti, same problems. So it continues. And then immediately he completely undergoes the transformation. As the Dattatreya is explaining him, one by one veil is falling away from his, what am I doing? What was I doing? This is a great blessing that the king has attacked this one. I am blessed to be attacked by that king. My brother has instigated all this out of love for me. I was just missing one step and slipping down. My brother saved me. All these things, and start running from Dattatreya after taking leave from him. He straight away goes to the king, and his brother Subhahu, both were together. He goes and says, please take this kingdom. You have attacked king, you take this. The Kashi king is in puzzle. What is this happening? He says, you are a Kshatriya. I cannot take dana from you. You fight with me. If you win, you take. If I win, I will take. I cannot take dana. Then he says, no, what transformation he has undergone and why he is giving away, he explains. Then king says to Subhahu, you only asked me to win over and give, now you take the kingdom. He says, I did not mean it. I did not ask for the kingdom. I wanted him to, my purpose is served, that he has gone back to his path. Now I am going away. Then the king says, both of you are going away on the path of realization. One is already realized, another will realize in a short time. What about my fate? Will the meeting a realized soul, will it go in vain? That you are leaving us and going. Before you go, you give me some understanding what I should do. Then he gives. Subhahu gives him the knowledge also. How to transcend the nature and go beyond, realize God in this life. With that, king goes away and the land remains in the hand of Alarka again. Alarka immediately calls his eldest son, makes him the king, puts him on the throne, and leaves alone for the forest. He enters the wood. I have to realize God now. The time is over. And he goes, he finishes his realization. See, he is after all son of Madalasa, a realized soul. How much responsibility does a mother bear in bringing of children? Where do we make mistake? He is, without being fully qualified to enter the family life, we enter into family life. Because we have come into the modern fold of education. If ancient education was continuing, he would have been, all would have been rishis. So this we will see. And then after realizing, he comes out and one fine day he is explaining, he is singing one shloka. He is seeing the whole universe in front of him. Like Arjuna seeing the Vishwarupa. He is seeing the Vishwarupa. And all the Dhanavas, Devatas, Manavas, various species, vegetation, all this whole thing, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, all he is able to see. The whole thing. He sees all are sunk in Maya. Oh, alas, what a pain it is to see this. All jivas are sunk in Maya. And by grace of my mother, Madalasa, and by God's grace, I alone am beyond all this. Then he says, what a Maya. The last words he utters is, what a pain. We ruled this kingdom before, but now of late, I have come to know that there is no greater felicity than yoga. Felicity means that which gives great happiness, and then which seeks your welfare and then pushes you in the proper path. Felicity. So there is no greater felicity than yoga. I myself ruled over this kingdom. What a lowly mind might have been there at that time to become a king and rule over or anything, whatever it is. But I did not know that which my brothers knew. Oh, that's the only thing to be attained in life. All this has no meaning. Let me leave it to the others. There are others to take care of this world. They went away. But now I know that yoga is the only grandest thing that we can have. Do you understand how nice it is? How much we have to grow in our life. And everything, you see, if you enter Hinduism, you see, realize from all sides. You are divine, you are Ananda Swarupa. What is this? What for you are running about for a drop of Ananda? You are the Ananda Sagara. Why are you running after a drop of Ananda in this world? Whatever you do will not remain here. Why are you running about saving this, doing that, that's it? Why can't you sit and realize God? This we have to. In Alarka's life, you'll see how to blend. In these two, we have to combine. How to blend the spirituality with secular life in the world. It's a beautiful combination. All right, we'll stop here today. Tomorrow, Surya Grahana. Please guide us as a spiritual aspirant what we should do. See, according to the Hindu customs, these are called Parva. Parva Kala. A time that comes occasionally and rarely. Whatever comes, daily, everything is going on in a particular cycle, like going to the office, getting up, doing everything. Ekadashi also is coming every fortnight. When will you get to totally dedicate yourself to God? Sometime in your life that you call on. You may not be able to do every Ekadashi properly, but that which comes 2 or 3 times in a year, like festivals, Krishnashtami, Vinayaka Chaturthi. All these things are occasional, but it comes again and again in a particular time. But these come in a entirely different system. When it comes, you can predict, but it will not come in the same year, next year, in the same day and all, it will not come. It's a larger circle. Now, daily circle is there, hourly circle is there, every second wise is there, and daily cycle, morning tiffin, afternoon, that cycle is there. Weekly cycle is there. Monthly cycle is there. Yearly cycle is there. But this belongs to cosmic cycle in which all planetary movements are included. So, what we have to do is sit quietly, raise our consciousness to the cosmic level. This exercise, in various ways, I tell every day to these people during yoga in the morning. Sit calmly, expand your mind, expand your consciousness, how to do stage by in various ways. Same thing I will tell to merge the microcosm in the macrocosm. From years I am telling, not even a day, repeating the same thing. 2-3 minutes before you and they sit for yoga. Yoga asana it is. You have to be in yoga sthiti and do the asana as a practice for the rest of the day. So be in the state of yoga. You have to calmly sit. And the posture itself, the sitting posture, you see, like this or like this. The sitting posture itself is a triangle, it is like a pyramid. You are sitting itself. The moment you sit, you are getting tuned. The meditation posture means you are getting tuned to the divine and getting tuned to the nature. When you are in tune with nature, all the nature is constantly radiating peace, bliss, love, purity, divinity, beauty. All this it is radiating. And all this will be naturally flowing from you. You will be radiating them once you sit in the yogic posture. When I go to the yoga class in the morning, I see I go exact time. Means even a second's difference will not be there. As far as possible, I have to go to the Holy Mother's rock, collect the flowers, durva, and rush there. I will adjust in such a way I am there. If I 1 minute more time, I will do the weeding there in front of Mother. And I will be there in time. They all will be sitting. A few alone will attend, but whoever attends, they will be sitting calmly. There is no absolute silence. When I go, have they come or not, I will be thinking. Then the sitting posture itself gives great joy to see people sitting in meditation. The moment you sit, you are tuned to the divine. You are tuned because it looks like a pyramid, and here the 1/3 from the top, this is where the Akasha Tattva begins, Prakriti begins. Above here is the divine. The 3 Jiva Tattva up to Nabhi to Kantha is Prakriti Tattva, above Kantha is Shiva Tattva. So the moment he sits, his consciousness cannot slip down below the heart. Its posture itself is such that it will be in the heart and above. Then you see, you are tuned to the divine, you are tuned maximum. If you cannot enter beyond, the highest you can go is the space, Akasha Tattva, where there is absolute equanimity. When you are in the heart, absolute divinity. You are divine. If your consciousness raises to the heart, you are divine. All things that you see around is divine. If you are come to the one more highest, absolute, the like Akasha gives place for everything, opposites, without interfering, without instigating, without getting affected by it. That equanimity. Fire is there, water is there, poison is there, nectar is there. It has given room for all. Fire cannot burn in space, nor water can wet it. How beautiful you see Akasha Tattva. That is the first manifestation of the Prakriti to create this universe. So that is you cannot go beyond Prakriti, all right, be in the Vishuddha Chakra. So Yatishwanandi says, you have to struggle. You have to keep your consciousness constantly in the Agnya Chakra, even though there is a pull, downward pull below, he says. So in Parvak's time, you have to steal some time, sit calmly and think of the divine. Sit in the proper posture. Go and find out a place in your own house or on the top of the somewhere or in the river bank or in a temple. Calmly sit. Don't think who is looking at you or anything. Don't worry. Release your mind from all things of the past, future plannings. No carryover. Present also you drop. Be the pure yourself. Release all the strains and stresses in body-mind complex. Mind, especially mind. You have to release so many knots will be there in the mind. She has done like this, he has done that, this is what to be done, that work is there, this is the work is there. Each face the mind sees, it will immediately, with that the dirty knowledge also comes. Very painful. So these knots, they are knots. These knots have to be released. I have nothing to. God has not given the responsibility of Karkala or Bailur. He has given the responsibility of this Sharira only. I could not keep it properly tuned to the divine. I want other man to be correct in his work. These are the things which are most painful. You are the master of only your body-mind complex. No responsibility is given. Serve. Serve. Love, serve. That's all. How beautiful you see our life has to be. We can make ours. Swamiji says, you are the maker of your own destiny. So, this, in Parvakala, in fine place you select, where there is little less disturbance or no disturbance. The most disturbing thing is our own mind. If it is all right, everything is all right. So keep that. Release all things. Become Kevala. It is Kaivalya. Become you are yourself alone. Nothing. You are left the body, mind, senses, everything. You separate yourself from all that belongs to Prakriti. It doesn't belong to you. If you find any difficulty, go to Madalasa. She will give you the knowledge. You are not body, you are not this one. So sit and call on God, love God, feel the living presence of God. This you have to do at all times. Because Parvakala is cosmic cycle, it is easy for you to become one with the cosmos, cosmic understanding, and cosmos participates in you. When Madalasa teaches as an individual, as a cosmic being, as a family being, as a social being, as a citizen of country, all aspects, what to do in Shraddha, why should you do Shraddha, all things she will explain. Like that you have to Tune yourself to the divine, tune yourself nicely to the nature, Mother Nature. She is taking care. What all I possess, body, mind, everything belongs to nature. She is there as my body mind complex. So, sit calmly and feel the living presence of Ishtadevata, God in the form of Ishtadevata. So, when you see the Ishtadevata, you will be emotionally involved with God. And then whatever you want to, prayer, japa, dhyana, puja, whatever you want to do, this smarana and being in tune with the divine is most important part in these things. All right? Shall we end? Yes. Next week I will present you the same cosmic, this one, time aspect, Kala. How the calculation of Kala is, what is, we are on the earth, how the Kala is. If you are in the planet Pluto, 250 years is equal to 1 year. Our 250 years. It takes 250 years to go around the sun. Mercury takes our 88 days to go around. The concept of time, how it changes. Only on earth, this time is there for us. If you go 4,000 light years away, there is no day, there is no time, there is no this one. Day, eternal darkness. Like that, what is cosmic understanding of time? Because we are dealing with the creation. How beautiful to the minutest time to the vastest time. Numbers and all. How beautifully they have brought. And we have missed all these days. We spent our life in learning ABCD and computer. Save button. All right. हे प्रार्थना जगदीश से यह स्वर्ग सम संसार हो, अति उच्चतम जीवन बने परमार्थमय व्यवहार हो। ना हम रहे अपने लिए, हमको सभी से गर्ज है। गुरुदेव ए आशीष दो, जो सोचने का फर्ज है। हम हो पुजारी तत्व के, गुरुदेव के आदेश के, सच प्रेम के, नित नेम के, सद्धर्म के, सत्कर्म के। हो चीड़ झूठी राह की, अन्याय की, अभिमान की, सेवा करन में दास की, परवाह नहीं हो जान की। छोटे न हो हम बुद्धि से, हो विश्वमय से ईशमय, हो राममय और कृष्णमय, जगदेवमय जगदीशमय। हर इंद्रियों पर ताब कर, हम वीर हो अति वीर हो। उज्ज्वल रहे सर से सदा, मरथ खंबीर हो। अति शुद्ध हो आचार से तन मन हमारा सर्वदा अध्यात्म की शक्ति हमें पल भी नहीं कर दे जुदा। इस अमर आत्मा का हमें हर श्वास भर में गत रहे। गर मौत भी तो आ गई, सुख दुख हमसे सम रहे। गर मौत भी तो आ गई, सुख दुख हमसे सम रहे। सुख दुख हमसे सम रहे।